YouTube, Big H is back. He's back in the saddle. I got a truck that doesn't have a check engine light on. I'm sitting here idling. Still at Springfield. Got my truck back the day before yesterday. But to be honest with you, I was a little under the weather. So I shocked up at the Oasis. No, it was not the pandemic version. A couple of little stomach issues. I'm back to myself. Did the pre-inspection of my truck. Now I got to go up the driver's lineup and get a load. So anyway, about my Peterbilt. They claim that it was two sensors, an oxygen sensor and a NOx sensor, and they cleaned out the system. So I asked him, I go, how dirty was the system? It was just done a month ago. He goes, to be honest with you, it was not dirty at all. So what's apparently happening, now I'm hearing this from a couple different sources. They're saying because Prime's trucks are governed, there's a glitch in the software at some point. It starts throwing these error codes saying that my DPF filter is clogged when it's really, actually it's not clogged. So they're forcing you to do a regen. Thank God it never got a D rate. Otherwise, that's a red check engine light and you're pretty much in limp mode. You're either going from 5 miles an hour or anywhere up to 50. But my luck would be 5 miles an hour, which would require a tow truck. So I inquired about this. I heard this from another YouTube guy, Peterbilt Prime, I forget his name, my bad, that supposedly he's been told by Peterbilt North Carolina that there's a software upgrade for the code 1710 coming out sometime February. That's going to rectify this miscommunication between the computer and the computer. If that makes any sense. But there's nothing wrong with my system per se. Again, it's all based on getting a code, an error code, tricking the computer thinking that my filter is clogged when in all actuality, it's not. And how do I know it's not clogged? Because when I do the regen, I've done a regen that was, I guess, a little clogged and a little dirty, and the stink was horrific. The last time I did the last 3 regens, there was no smell. So I knew that it was bogus. So the code 1710 has been a crawl a thorn in their side, Peterbilt side, and it's only happening to Prime trucks. And again, I reiterate, they think it's due to the fact that the truck is governed at 65 miles an hour. Do I believe that? No, but then why wouldn't other trucks? I mean, it's just a certain few trucks, right? It's not like every Peterbilt that Prime has in his fleet is going through the same problem that I'm going through. At least maybe I don't know, but I mean, like Lyle No Hippie Trucking, he's never encountered any of this stuff. It seems like there's a select few, and why after 150,000 miles, I have no idea. It's just really a pain in the ass. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that this is the last hiccup with this issue. And if there is a software upgrade, the guy told me that they're going to send out a fleet-wide campaign to get to the nearest Peterbilt at the point in time to correct the issue. So we'll see. So again, I'm sitting here at the behind the I guess where all the other bobtails are. I don't know what this section is called, but whatever. Warming up my truck. I reached out to my fleet manager, told him I'm ready to roll. He's like, I'm inundated with what's going on in the country with all the snow and shit. So I'm gonna go up the driver's lineup, see if I can get out of here. Probably not gonna happen, but I'm gonna go anywhere but west. Southwest, I'll go. Up north, I'll go. East, I'll go. Because I have scheduled home time for January 19th. So now I'm going to have to rework all my appointments that I had for next week, because that was going to be my original time. And I didn't want to, give my fleet manager a short notice and say, listen, get me home Tuesday. I'm not going to do that. Plus, there's more bad weather coming up the East Coast. They're talking now freezing rain for Sunday. in the Ohio Valley up in the Northeast. So preferably, if God is on my side and with all the shit that I've been through, I can get a load, and I don't care. I can get a load going into Florida or Georgia or the Carolinas. I'll be more than happy to do that. I know today's the last day, I believe, of the bonus, so hopefully there's something there. But you know, I know I've been through driver's lineup before, and it's going to be knock on wood, there's something right here, right now coming in, or it's going to be like, no, we'll put you on a list, and when something comes in, So that's where I'm at. So I wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on. I am ready to roll. I'm ready to put this whole thing behind me. And again, I hope it's not a 4-6 week, problem that's going to keep arising. Because on the other guy's video, again, I really slipped my mind. He's had this issue happen 4 times to him. I'm on my second, so I'm hoping that the second time is the last time, and this way I can make money. But folks, that's what we're here for. But this is the problem. This is one of the problems of trucking. You know, there's always a problem in any industry you'll ever get into. And I'm not trying to make these videos to be like down in the dumps about trucking. I love the business. I love my freedom. You know, at some point in anybody's trucking career, you're gonna go through what I'm going through. Maybe not the same specific scenario, but you're gonna go through mechanical failures. You know, luckily for me, I was able to get it to Springfield this time. The last time I was able to get it to Pennsylvania, the Hunter Peterbilt. I was able to then get an Uber and drive back to the terminal and get in my car and go home. So I'm not stuck in the middle of nowhere. And you know, I have access to food. I have access, I hung out with Lyle a couple times. BS, met a couple of new drivers, try to help them out with questions and so on and so forth. So I've been fortunate. Believe me when I tell you, a lot worse could happen. But again, this is part of trucking. Somebody got a brand new Peterbilt. That's spanking beautiful. This is all part of trucking. And I can't get frazzled. Yes, am I frustrated? Absolutely. Is this cutting into my finances? Yes and no. I've got such a great emergency fund set up. I do 20 cents a mile that I could go without a truck for probably 2 months and not be in the hole. And my other side of the finances, I'm set up, so I'm okay. But again, I'm not on the road or in this business to really sit at terminals and truck stops. It's not where I want to be. I'm going out of my mind. Must be a delivery of Peterbilts today, because one Peterbilt after another Peterbilt's pulling by. A beautiful truck, man, just beautiful. Peterbilts are hot, and I'm hoping that Success Leasing comes back into play again. I'm sure they will. It's just a really bad shortage. I mean, I was listening to the drivers lineup this morning in a meeting, and they're talking about having problems getting trailers. It's just like, what the hell is going on with all these shortages? Somebody's pulling the purse strings on and creating this mess. Because if you tell me there's a truck shortage, I'm going to say, go look at a truck stop, any truck stop in the country, about 5, 6, 7 o'clock at night, and you let me know if you could find more than 2 empty spaces anywhere in the country. There ain't no driver shortage. There's somebody holding something back here, but for just to, I guess, raise prices and to always hurt the working man. It's just ridiculous. But I don't want to get political. That's just my conspiracy theory. But come to expect, if you're going to go coming into trucking, that you're going to go run into snafus. Now, again, for a year and a half, I managed to run clean, no problems, everything was smooth. And I was saying to myself, at some point, this is a mechanical engine, pulling heavy weight, climbing hills, going down hills for rain, sleet, snow, salt, all kinds of corrosives. Something is gonna go. Now, I'm really anal. I check my truck. I'm not mechanically inclined, but I'm somewhat mechanically inclined. And that's the help of power of YouTube. So I look for things, and if something breaks or somebody shows me a problem with their truck, I keep a picture of that in the back of my mind to what else to look for in my pre-trips. I always make sure that my tire air is where it should be. I always make sure, especially in the wintertime, that I drain my air tanks at least twice a week, if not more. Anti-gel, windshield wipers, make sure my shock's not leaking, make sure my airbags are fine, make sure I don't have any airline problems. I listen, I look, but eventually something's going to break, right? But the point I'm trying to make here is if you don't set yourself up correctly financially as a lease operator, you're going to be in big trouble, especially out of the get-go. I'll give you a quick example. I met a guy the other day, just signed a lease, 2020. It was one of the, I guess, the company team Peterbilts, where they have the EPU, not the APU, and the fairings are all smashed in. But more importantly than the cosmetic part of it was he had a couple flat spots on his left-hand drive tire. I told him, I said, dude, you got to get that fixed. What do you mean I got to get it fixed? You got to get that fixed. That tire, if you get pulled into a weigh station and they do an inspection on it, you're going to be flagged. You're not going to be able to move until you get a fresh tire on it. So if I were you, I'd go up to whomever and say, before I sign this contract, take a picture of the tire and tell them you want it fixed. Because once you sign that contract, folks, and you find a problem, uncosmetic, as long as it's drivable and it's mechanically sound, Prime is not going to fix fairings and bumpers, believe me, because I got a nick in my bumper. It didn't affect me performing. But if you find something that's, especially tires, that's one of the most important pieces of the truck, and God forbid there's a blowout, catastrophe can happen. You've got to raise that to somebody's attention before you sign, because then once you sign and you come across something like that, then it comes out of your pocket. Now this guy, because the truck had 250,000 miles on it, there's definitely a tire fund that's going to be given to him, because it gets carried over to the next owner if you surrender your truck prematurely. And has he fixed it? I don't know. I told him, I said, you got to get it done. You've got to get it done. This tire has flat spots. Not good. It's going to cause vibrations, or it could cause even greater problems down the road. Because if you get the tire fixed at Prime, it's a lot cheaper, or put on a brand new tire, it's a lot cheaper than having to go to, on the road where they're going to charge you $1,000. So the little tidbits that you need to really look for, especially signing a lease, because again, you're not company. This truck becomes my responsibility. Anything that breaks on this truck, I've got to fix. It's either covered under warranty or it's coming out of my pocket. But come to expect that something is going to go wrong with the truck at some point. And again, not to beat the horse dead, make sure that you're financially set up for times like I've been going through, where it's an inconvenience. I've lost thousands of dollars not running loads, but I'm not in the hole. I actually got a check today for $650 after paying my fuel, the fixed costs, and all the other charges associated with my truck, which is a positive. So I'm not in the hole. Now, it's Friday. I'm getting off to a late start. Today's the last day, I believe, of the bonus. I'm going to hope and keep my fingers crossed that I can get a load out of here that still has the holiday package and work my butt off until next Wednesday. And hopefully the weather works in my favor, where I'm not going to get shut down like Driver's Lineup is in Wyoming, and others are in the East Coast and in other parts of the country. And now it's time for me to choose wisely where I go, and be careful and watch the weather very closely, because I don't mind going into snow. But if it's a major snowstorm and I know I'm going to be shut down for a couple days, that's, again, lost revenue on my part. Save your money. Save your money. Don't go out and buy material things. Not yet, especially as a new lease operator. Squirrel that money away, especially if you jump into a truck that's got several 100,000 miles on it. Because again, even though it may be covered under the warranty, you may be out of commission for a week. Last time I was out was 15 days. This time I'm out 4 days. Just a little message from the Big H Trucking Arsenal. Listen, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Stay safe, really stay safe. Stay warm. Make sure you drain your air tanks. Make sure you put anti-gel in your truck. Make good decisions. And like I always say, if you're not sure of your surroundings, get out and look. Don't cause damage. With that being said, have a great day.